Hello my friends, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm in Luminar Neo and I'm going to take a photo that's pretty darn dark and I'm going to lighten it up, brighten it up, make it pop off the screen using a few key tools. I mean, we all take photos, especially if you're wandering in a city in lower light, which I love to do. But the photos, especially if you're protecting the highlights, trying to keep them from blowing out, you end up with a lot of the photo in shadow. There's several ways to fix it, and it's a lot more than just, hey, let me increase the exposure or let me lift the shadows. I got a few ideas for you I'm going to share in this video. This is the photo I'm going to be using. Now, I've already done a couple of very minor things in Develop Raw. I went from that to that, right? That to that, which is basically I went into optics and fixed the distortion, and then I wanted to transform and straighten those verticals. I also cropped it. So bottom line, no editing, just some straightening, for lack of a better term, before and after. Now in this video, I'm going to walk through a bunch of key tips that I use to take dark photos and brighten them. But I do want to first point out, Luminar, if you don't yet have it, or if you're in need of an upgrade, they got a huge summer sale going on right now, up to 70% off some of the various packages. Check it out at the link below. It's my editor of choice. It's the one I use basically on every photo. And I love it, of course. That's why I make all these videos. So check that out at the link below and let's jump into this edit. The first thing I want to do is actually lift the exposure. But before I do that, actually, so maybe not the first thing I want to do is one of my favorite moves when I'm playing with the light is to turn on the J key. So hit the J key and you'll see this overlay come up on your photo. And you'll see two overlays. You'll see this blue one, which is very prominent in a dark photo because the blue is overlaid anything that's effectively completely black. In other words, if you were to print this, you wouldn't see anything but black, right? The red overlay, which is showing up in a very tiny amount like there and maybe a couple of dots there and on some of these neon signs, those are the areas that are completely blown out. There's no detail left in those really bright areas, just as with the blue, there's no detail left in the really dark areas. But we're going to fix all of that, and it's easy to do. So that's why I like to do the J key. And then the first thing I'm going to do, and I don't always do this, but on a really dark photo, I do lift the exposure value. And you can see as I'm starting to lift the exposure that those things are going away. I should say the blue is going away because I'm basically brightening the darkest parts of the photo. But you will see I'm getting more red. Again, that's the blown out areas, and that's happening because I lifted the exposure, right? So which is an equal opportunity lift. In other words, it's at the same amount lifting all the pixels and making them brighter. But in this case, not so good for the highlights. So my next move is pull those highlights down. And you can see I got to, especially the one in the sky right here, at like 10 or 12, it's effectively gone. I end up going down to like negative 35, 40, something like that. I'm not going to recover the little bit here and the little bit in some of these neon signs. And that's okay. I don't really care about that. I just want to balance the tones of across the entire photo. And now that I've done that and got the highlights back under control and lifted the exposure, I'm going to lift the shadows. And I'm going to do like a 20, low 20s here. So let's call that a 22. Now I'm going to hit the J key and hide that overlay so you can see the photo better. And you can see there's still a little bit of black, right? If I hit it again, there's a little bit of really dark stuff and there's a tiny little bit of stuff that's really blown out. But if there's minor amounts of that on either end of the histogram, which is what you can see up here, I don't really mind. It doesn't bother me and it's totally fine, especially with a street photo like this. By the way, this is Carnaby Street in London, super fun to wander and shoot and all that stuff. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I'm going to add a little bit of vibrance. I don't do a lot of color work in Develop or Develop Raw. I like to save that for other tools, and I'm going to add a little bit of sharpening. But overall, I've taken the photo from that to that. And now I'm going to go back to the main tools menu and jump into tool number 2, which normally is super contrast. But in a dark photo like this, there's certain things I want to accentuate with the light and certain things I want to kind of mask or darken with the light, right? There's not really a better tool than light depth for doing that. So I'm going to move light depth to low 30s, 33, 34. And I want to get this mask. And what I want to do is I'm going to drag it pretty low, so it's brightening up that foreground area. Really, I want those people to be bright. I love this scene. I would have preferred to compose it a little bit differently, but when you're shooting in the streets like that, you can't always control things. And I was shooting with a prime lens at 28 mil. handheld lower light. So I also, by the way, in Develop Raw, did a little bit of noise reduction, but not much. Anyway, so I wanted to brighten those people, and this is a great way to do it. I like to expand that a little bit. I like to add a little bit of softness. So maybe like that to kind of soften the edges of that area that's being masked. And in this case, I'm going to add a little bit of warmth. I'm going to do like 18 or 19. No, maybe not. Maybe 14. All I'm doing is the area that's in white is getting a little bit warmer. So if you look at the before and the after, right? Before and after, the area in white in this little overlay mask view here is brighter and warmer. And in contrast to that, the areas outside of that, I'm going to make darker and cooler. And this is something I do a lot in my videos and, of course, in my edits, which is I play the warm and the cool off of each other. I like that color contrast, what I call color tension, getting the cool stuff a little bit cooler, the warm stuff maybe a little bit warmer, because they're complementary. Warm and cool are complementary, yellow and blue are complementary, and these kind of line up with yellow and blue. So for brightness near, I'm going to go to a -100, and you don't see a big difference, and that's because near is the dark part at the very bottom of this foreground, and that didn't really make much of a difference, but I've got a trick for you I'm going to show you in this video that's a really good way to darken that. So hang tight for that. What I am going to do is take the warmth near, and I'm going to drop that to like -50 or something. So I darkened and cooled off the foreground, and now for the brightness far, I'm going to add a little bit more darkening, so I'm making it a little bit darker, and I want to make that a little cooler, so maybe like a -50, 59. That looks good. So if you look at the before and after for light depth, before and after, right? Before and after, brightened and warmed up really the core center of the photo and darkened and cooled off the other stuff. This is playing with light. This is like dodge and burn in some ways, but all I'm doing is trying to control the light in a photo. And when you have a really dark photo to start with, which I did, that's a great tool for controlling the light. So before, the overall before, right? Before and after. We've come a long way. We still have more to do. I got several tricks for you in this video. And the next one is super contrast. And this is a tool I use all the time. I use it in probably just about every video. And usually what I do is I go to the mid-20s or 30s on each of these different tonal areas. And then I come back with a balance slider and play around. And so I'm just kind of moving these figures to get them aligned with where my notes tell me to go. And I'm going to show you the difference overall here in a second. So before and after, right? Before and after. You may remember I didn't really do any contrast adjustments when I was using Develop Raw. I adjusted exposure, highlights, shadows, things like that, but didn't do any contrast adjustments. But making light adjustments, changing the bright parts and changing the dark parts is creating contrast. But for me, after doing Develop Raw and then light depth, coming in with super contrast to kind of fine tune that look, I think is great. So before and after with that, and that's my first 3 moves. Now I got a few more, but first I want to do something that I love to do, which is enhance color. And so I'm going to do this really quick, and I'm going to use a luminosity mask, and I'm just going to bump this up a little bit, and I'm going to lean into split color warmth, where the warm colors get warmer, the cool colors get cooler, and that's too much color. It's really vibrant. I like it, but it's not realistic. And so this is where I like to come in with a luminosity mask. And if you don't know about those, I got plenty of videos about luminosity masks on my channel that should give you plenty of insight into how to use them, why to use them, and that sort of thing. But follow me here if you aren't familiar, because I got plenty more videos that I will be doing about luminosity masks. I think I'll do something like that in this case. I'm just kind of playing around a little bit. Many times I like to target kind of the midtones and then fade it into the other tonal areas from there. And I actually think I'm going to fade a little bit more heavily toward the highlights. That's what I'm doing there. And now the color adjustment, before and after, that's so minor, you may not be able to see it that well in the video. But the bottom line is, color is one of my favorite things. That's not really the bottom line. Color is one of my favorite things. And a great way to do that in many scenes, landscape, cityscape, street photos, is color harmony with a luminosity mask. All right, let me jump into the next thing, which is Accent AI. Now remember, I'm talking about brightening a dark photo, and I've done all the brightening across the entire frame, but there's still some brightening that's left to be done that will really improve the overall look of the image. And the first thing is I want to accentuate a little bit more on the subject here. So I'm going to go get Accent AI for that and a radial gradient. So I'm just going to drop that down here and broaden it across that area. I don't need to do the whole foreground. I don't need to do a whole bunch of the photo, but I do want to pop that area because it is where your eye is drawn. And let's say I go to 30 or something. All it's going to do is brighten up and pop that area a little bit. So if you look at the before and the after, right? The before and the after, nice smooth gradient allows me to really just blend that into the rest of the photo and then helps me create that pop that I'm talking about. So before and after. And by the way, that that gradient edge on this radial mask is what smooths that transition and ensures that it gently kind of blends together, which is really key, I think, in editing photos. Now, there's two more things I want to do to kind of brighten certain parts of the photo or darken, right? I want to create that contrast because just because I brightened the entire photo and applied some contrast earlier, doesn't mean I'm done. I'm still brightening areas or darkening areas to make sure that the photo looks the way I want it to look. Okay, now that I've done the Accent AI on that area, the other thing I want to do is brighten the sign. There's a number of different ways you can do that, but for me, I like to come in with a object select mask and just grab that sign and just give it a little bit of boost in exposure. Now you need to be careful because these areas here are actually the sky, what's behind it. I'm not going to do the masking job in this video, but in order to fix that, you can go in, get a brush mask, get an eraser, and you come in, and it's going to be kind of painstaking to come in and just delete that mask, right? It kind of looks like this. In fact, I guess I am doing a little bit of that in this video because I want to show you how it can be done. I'm a little sloppy about it, but you also need to get these little bits in here. And so again, kind of quick, kind of sloppy, but this is what you can do is object select will grab objects. In this case, I have a little bit of a challenge, and that's because there's sky coming in between the little parts of this object that object select grabbed for me. Sloppy job, but you get the point. But what I want to do is brighten it because I want to accentuate that a little bit. So you got to be careful with your masking and what object select grabs. You're not always going to have sky bleeding through. In this case, I did. You probably need to do a little cleaner job adding, cleaning up that mask. But if you look at the before and after, it gives it a nice little pop. And the other thing I want to do, and this is what I referenced earlier in the video, is I like to come in with object select as well and choose the ground, because if you remember, one of the things I wanted to do is I like to darken the foreground, but I didn't get quite enough foreground between me and these people. Again, street photography, it's kind of hard to do. But I want to point out something really important here is if you come in and you just drop this exposure, you're going to see these halos around these people. That doesn't work. So in this case, what I found to be a better option is actually just increase contrast. It's not going to pull up those halos like the exposure drop is, and I think you get a much better look, and you get a nice little darkening of that foreground, so that complements the little bit that I could do in light depth. With this move, it just gives me a nice little darker foreground, which I think complements the photo, so before and after. And remember, that darkening is bumping up against the people here who I brighten, so it's a good way to do just that, right? And last thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a vignette, and I'm going to make this kind of quick and sloppy. I do want to choose my subject. I'm going to put that a little bit lower center, and this is going to give me a nice little rounding off of my edit. And that, my friends, is the entire edit and the entire workflow and all the tips. So if you look at the before, very dark, handheld, lower light, exposing for the highlights, and that allowed me to capture this photo, but everything looks so dark, it looks like a photo that you would probably skip over. But some key edits around develop raw, light depth, super contrast, and then some targeted masks with Accent AI and develop gives me the ability to really control the light and get a usable photo from one that may have been too dark and that you may have passed up in your first culling of your images. That's how I do it in this video, my friends. Hope it gives you some ideas. Check out my free Luminar editing ebook if you don't have that yet. It's at the link down below. I'll be back soon with more videos. You guys take care. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon. And until next time, adios.